So I'll just go and introduce the first speaker now. It's Wim Berkelaar, the Amsterdam, and he will be talking about another aspect of Geyl he developed it also in his early stage of his career, namely the literary ambitions of Pieter Geyl. Wim, welcome. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Shall I use this? Can you hear me? Yes? I'll do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I've called this lecture, given it the title, It's a Park, the Literary Ambitions of Pieter Geyl. That Pieter Geyl retired as Professor of Modern History in 1958 is probably no news for you. Geyl had reached the age of 70, and that was the age a Dutch professor had to leave his chair. Never in his lifetime, Geyl was more famous than in 1958. His well-known vanity was more flattered than ever. He had been distinguished with the PC Hoofdprijs for the year 1957, the then most prestigious literary prize in the Netherlands, named after the Dutch historian and playwright in the 17th century for whom Geyl had so much appreciation, especially for Hooft's Dutch histories. The prize was presented to him on May 21st, 1958. One could ask, what's more to this? But that was not the reaction of Pieter Geyl. 2 months before he got the prize in the Muiderslot, Geyl had a last farewell ceremony with his students in that same Muiderslot. And it's nice to mention that my friend and colleague Peter van Hees was among them. On that occasion, he looked back on his life and career. Overall, Geyl was satisfied with what he had reached during his long and prolific career. But there was one thing which left him with mixed feelings: the lack of recognition as a poet and literary writer. In his speech for the students, Geyl spoke with some irritation about the refusal of his novel, written but not finished around 1910, by the then famous writer and essayist Albert Verwij, one of the prominent members of the so-called Tachtigers, a group of writers who, at the end of the 19th century, wanted a new, brave and romantic literature and tried to destroy the pastoral literature that had dominated the Netherlands in the mid-19th century. I quote, "Was Albert Verwij the right person to judge my novel?" Geyl grumbled. That novel rouses one's curiosity, but unfortunately it is not in the rich Geylarchief in Utrecht, in the University Library. Still, we know from letters to his childhood friend P.N. van Eyck that he was working on a novel which was never published. What is left of Geyl's prose are some unpublished short stories, not only written under the influence of Van Eyck, but also under the spell of a love in vain. One story was about Jeanne d'Arc, the woman who, with God-sent visions, fought against the British invaders in France in the 15th century. Another, called The Sultan, tried to tell the story of a Muslim tyrant who tried to submit his people. How actually? Tried to tell, because the short stories are as unfinished as was his novel. The young poet Geyl was not much better, but at least he left us some finished poems, almost all of them about Christ. In his archive there is a document named Golgotha, with the subtitle 10 Poems about the Way of the Cross. As Geyl later frankly admitted, these poems were inspired by the same Albert Verwij, who I mentioned, the man who was critical about his unpublished novel. Verwij had written a poem, Christ on the Cross titled, which inspired Geyl to write his poem. called consecration. I quote in my own crippled English, but I hope you can follow. On the cruel cross, high and hard, I love him, your son. I love him. Oh, the pale head with the spine, the naked arms which are spasmodic, the small hand cruelly stabbed. I have seen your son through light of sorrow. Now I will dedicate my verse to him in honor. My verse is all I can give. I can't pray and I can't beg. I can't kneel for the people. But let me sing to the man of sorrows that I love him. Let's speak from love. My verse as a smell of incense that is sent to God. As you can hear, this was a highly pathetic poem, only an imitation of a rhyme. And there is more of this. You will be bored when I read them all. In the meantime, there is some irony in the Christ poems. In the 1940s, as a hostage of the Nazi regime, Geyl wrote his, it's already said, autobiography, posthumously published, where he noted that as a young man, he was, I quote, a tremendous rational. Geyl had nothing despised, as he in the same autobiography admitted. His youth poems were merely the work of a romantic young man who would be poet, who imitated his heroes, the Tachters. He was neither Cloos nor Van Dijssel, the writers he idolized most. Once Geyl was castigated by Van Eyck after he admitted that he had written a poem whilst lying on the ground near the stove. Writing a poem on the ground near a stove. That was not done for someone who wanted to be a great poet. As was the verdict of Van Eyck. Unlike his friend Van Eyck, who was not only Albert Verwijs' successor as professor of Dutch language and literature in Leiden, but also became a prize-winning, though to my opinion somewhat obscure poet, young Pieter Geyl discovered that he was much more a historian and an essayist. That story is well known. History was his destination. It's the reason why we discuss Geyl for a whole day. But Geyl never lost his literary ambition. During his English years, he set himself the task to translate the medieval plays Lancelot of Denmark and the Tale of Beatrix, 1924-1927. In the foreword of Lancelot of Denmark, published in the Dutch writer already mentioned by Stijn, Martinus Nijhoff, Geyl emphasized that the author of the 14th century play was unknown, but probably a Brabant. I quote, "It can be regarded as certain that the author, of whom nothing else is known, not even his name, was a South Netherlander. That is to say, that he was a native of the Dutch-speaking region of the present Kingdom of Belgium. Of course, that speculation can be historically correct, but there can be no doubt that this was also a statement of someone who was showing enthusiasm for the Greater Netherlands story. Afterwards, Geyl was still proud of the result of the translation, particularly about the compliment given him by the once famous Scottish scholar and essayist W.P. Kerr, who also worked at University College. Kerr wrote to him, I quote, "Your translation reads and sounds like a medieval play, with just the right amount of quaintness and old-fashioned in style phrasing." The English press also was predominantly positive about the play. The Manchester Guardian of June 24, 1924, praised, I quote, the technical ability of Dr. Geyl. He has rendered the virgin of the medieval spirit in the modern and preserved the medieval flavor of the language. Lancelot of Denmark was played in London at the end of 1923 at Playroom 6 at 6 New Compton Street, Cambridge Circus in London. One of the players was Hilda Maud, a girl who fascinated him. But unfortunately for him, they talked a lot about sex, but didn't have any, as he later noted in his autobiography. In any case, the success gave him a taste for more, and there was more to come in Beatrice, which also was staged in Britain. With both plays, Geyl got help from the poet Robert Trevelyan, the nephew of the famous historian George Trevelyan. In his English years, Geyl wrote also his own plays. In Kensington Gardens, he read one of them aloud for another woman, because women in his life, etc. That girl had the name of Elizabeth the Rose, and he tried with reading his play, he tried to impress her. He didn't, at least not in the way Geyl hoped. She would later marry the Dutch writer Edgar du Perron. Geyl later wonders why none of his English plays had survived. And I wonder with him, because in the rich Geylarchief I haven't found one. Pieter also didn't. Always look to Pieter. He knows everything. Give him the honor he must have. In the 1930s, Geyl paid most attention to his historical work on the relations of the House of Orange and the regions of Holland, and worked hard on his history of the Dutch-speaking peoples. Literature did disappear to the background. The Second World War revived his never-ending literary ambitions. Geyl was imprisoned between October 1914 and February 1944, first in concentration camp Buchenwald and then in the Dutch hostage center Haren and Sint-Michielsgestel. As a hostage, in 3 weeks' time, Geyl wrote the thriller Murder on the Lake, a book full of reminiscences of his childhood, when he sailed in Krimpen. The book was received with mixed feelings. Geyl later judged that it did not stand on the same level as his poems. As he wrote, I gave it this lecture the provisional title, It's a Pardon. That is to say, in Utrecht there was a persistent rumor that Geyl had walked into a bookshop and asked if Murder on the Lake was in stock. The poems that he wrote as a hostage were published with the help of another prisoner, the poet and literary man Nico Donkersloot, under the pseudonym P. van Haren. He was imprisoned in Haren, in the literary periodical Criterion. In 1944, the poems were published under the title The Password, under another pseudonym A. van der Merwe, which referred to one of the places of his childhood. Ed Hornig, himself a poet, who initially judged positive about the poems, was later more critical. Geyl's poems, he wrote, were more reflective than poetical. Hornig's verdict makes sense. Take this one, still gripping, because it tells us here around something about his love of history. I will only read the first two verses in my doubtless rather crippled translation. Here it goes. If in history I found my home, war, treason, murder, jail and scaffold, I was familiar with it, and I wrote easily of bunglers who were out of time, of exiles who could only sulk or hope in the face of their enemies' cool mockery. I was never interested in personal fate and wanted to know how time was interwoven and decomposed. In some of his poems, one can hear a nostalgia for his English years, just as in the first sentence of this one. London, I like the bus in your streets, in the evenings when the theatre began. Overall, the verdict of Hornig, the editor of Criterion, turned out to be the same as the overall verdict after the war, when a young and modern poet named Koos Schuur. And Simon Vestdijk, the great writer at that time, more or less drew the same conclusions as Horik. They wrote critical reviews about O Freedom, the title under which the poems were published after the liberation. The critical reception irritated Geyl. Vestdijk had written that the poems could better be read as a commentary on his imprisonment than as poems. Geyl wrote Vestdijk, I quote, "It worries me that you judge my work only as an expression of a strange experience in a strange age. I think that my poems express an experience that can move my readers. Will that not show that I have realized myself poetically?" But ladies and gentlemen, the case was lost. The literary opinion at the time judged that Geyl was a mediocre, old-fashioned poet who missed the connection with the post-war political standard. Geyl's poems never made their way to the great anthologies of Dutch poetry, such as Gerrit Komrij's The Dutch Poetry in the 19th and 20th century. Still, and with this I come to an end of my lecture. In my opinion, there is one poem that present anthology cannot afford to miss. It reflects Geyl's pagan vision of human life and death in the endless universe. I quote, "The stars are frightening, the cold universe, boundless and silent, goes revolving on. Worlds without an end. The grace of God is gone, a vast indifference, deadlier than a curse, chills our poor globe, which heaven seemed to nurse, so fondly. It was God's rainbow when it shone, until we searched. Now as we count and count, gusts of infinity, our hopes disperse. Well, it's so, they say, well, it's so. Then turn your eyes away from heaven. Look at the earth. It's in its array of life and beauty. Transitory? Maybe, but so you are. Let stark eternity heed its own self, and you enjoy your day, and when that goes quietly away. Thank you.